7 treasures of Africa sit behind glass, far from the people they belong to. They are not just objects. They are symbols of nations, guardians of memory, sacred vessels of identity. Yet today, they are kept behind glass in foreign capitals. For centuries, European powers looted Africa's most sacred treasures under the banners of conquest, science, and a twisted idea of civilization. They stripped kingdoms of their symbols of sovereignty and hid them in museums and vaults, often thousands of miles away. This is not a forgotten history. It is a theft that continues to this day. The display cases in Western museums are not just preserving history. For many, they are active crime scenes, holding evidence of a colossal cultural robbery. These artifacts were ripped from their homes, their spiritual contexts erased, and their people left with a void that echoes through generations. The silence of these museum halls masks the violent histories of their acquisition. Let's uncover the stories of 7 of these stolen treasures. First, the soul of an entire nation, the Asante Golden Stool. To the Ashanti people of Ghana, this is no mere throne. It is a sacred object believed to have descended from the heavens, containing the very spirit of their nation. Its existence ensures the kingdom's survival. In 1900, the British governor demanded to sit on it, an act of supreme disrespect that ignited the War of the Golden Stool. The Ashanti people hid the stool and fought fiercely to protect it. While the main stool remains in Ghana today, a victory of their resistance, countless other pieces of royal regalia, golden masks, jewelry, and ceremonial items looted during that conflict are still held in British collections. These are not souvenirs, they are integral parts of a living, breathing sovereignty. Next, Ethiopia's Tabots. These are not simply artifacts. They are consecrated replicas of the Ark of the Covenant, so sacred that only priests are allowed to look upon them. They are the heart of every Ethiopian Orthodox church. Yet, after the Battle of Maqdala in 1868, British forces ransacked the mountain fortress of Emperor Tawadros II. They carried away hundreds of priceless treasures, including at least a dozen tabots. Today, these holy objects, meant to be shrouded in reverence and ritual, sit in storage at the British Museum and other institutions, unseen and unused. For the Ethiopian faithful, this is not just theft, but a continuous act of sacrilege. Calls for their return have echoed for over a century, yet the silence from London is deafening. Perhaps the most infamous case is that of the Benin Bronzes. These thousands of intricate bronze and ivory sculptures adorned the royal palace of the Kingdom of Benin in modern-day Nigeria. They were not just art, they were a royal archive, a historical record of the kingdom's illustrious history. But in 1897, a British punitive expedition sacked and burned Benin City. The soldiers looted everything. The bronzes were shipped to London and sold off to museums and private collectors across the globe. Today, these masterpieces, which represent the pinnacle of African artistry, are scattered across London, Berlin, and New York. They are testaments to a kingdom's glory, but their display in foreign museums is a permanent reminder of its brutal violation. Alongside the tabots, the Maqdala manuscripts were also plundered from Ethiopia in 1868. These are not just old books. They are some of the most priceless illustrated manuscripts in the world, containing centuries of Ethiopian knowledge, theology, and history. Written in the ancient Guizi script, they are the intellectual and spiritual heritage of a nation. They were stolen by a British museum employee accompanying the army and now reside in collections like the British Library. Imagine the entirety of your national library being carried off as war booty. That is the scale of this loss. Each page holds a piece of a nation's soul, currently held captive under climate-controlled glass. Let's travel back further in time to the Nok terracottas of Nigeria. Dating back as far as 1500 B.C., these are among the oldest and most significant sculptures in sub-Saharan Africa. Their distinctive style and ancient origins offer a priceless window into a sophisticated prehistoric culture. But from the mid-20th century, these delicate figures were systematically looted from archaeological sites and smuggled into the international art market. Each piece stolen and sold without context is a page ripped from Africa's ancient history, its story erased. When you see a Nok head in a Parisian gallery, you are seeing a beautiful object, but you're also seeing the ghost of a history that can never be fully recovered. From the heart of southern Africa, we have the Great Zimbabwe relics. The stone city of Great Zimbabwe was the capital of a powerful kingdom that thrived for centuries. Its most iconic artifacts are the 8 soapstone birds, beautifully carved and perched atop monoliths. These birds were symbols of royalty and religious authority, connecting the earthly rulers with the spiritual world. During the colonial era, European explorers and treasure hunters, unable to believe that indigenous Africans could build such a magnificent city, removed these sacred birds and other ceremonial items. While some have been returned to Zimbabwe, others remain abroad, a poignant symbol of a history that colonists tried to deny and possess. Finally, we turn to the sacred regalia of the Congo Kingdom. This ancient and powerful kingdom, spanning parts of modern-day Angola, Congo, and Gabon, had a wealth of religious and royal symbols. Intricately carved staffs, Nkisi power figures bristling with spiritual energy, and royal crucifixes were central to its political and spiritual life. During centuries of colonial conquest and exploitation by Portugal and other European powers, these foundational symbols were systematically seized. They were taken not just as loot, but as a deliberate strategy to break the spirit of the kingdom and dismantle its power structures. Many have never been seen again, while others lie in European museums, their spiritual power muted, their stories untold. These are not relics of a dead past. They are living testaments to cultures that still endure. Every missing artifact is a wound, an interruption in the conversation between ancestors and their descendants. And every return is an act of justice, a step toward healing. Across Africa, from community elders to national governments, people are demanding restitution. They are not asking for favors. They are demanding the return of what is rightfully theirs. Some artifacts have been promised back, and a few have even made the journey home. But most remain hidden away in museum storerooms and private collections. Until they are returned, the story of these treasures, and the story of Africa itself, remains unfinished. The fight for their return is a fight for memory, for identity, and for the future. They were stolen, but not forgotten. Subscribe to our channel and join the call to bring Africa's treasures home. Thank you for watching.